Welcome back to the podcast. Today we're doing an episode on morning routines and how to start your day off to have a more positive outlook on the rest of the day.
Yeah, I think having a morning routine is probably the best thing you can do when you're starting with manifesting.
Yeah.
Because just think about like when you have a bad start to your morning, it kind of can have this like
Mm,
domino
yeah.
effect where nothing goes right during the day. So I think that's probably the best thing is like getting really intentional with how you're waking up and spending those like first few minutes of the day.
Yeah. So the first thing that I would say is wake up at an earlier time that you know you're going to have enough time to do whatever you have to do because if you're rushing and stuff, that's one of the things that's I feel like puts people in a bad mood in the morning, like, "Oh, I'm late now, like, today's gonna be a bad day,"
Yeah.
or, like, "I'm not gonna have a good day." And another thing too is when you first wake up, I feel like checking people always check their phone, like, first thing in the morning, and I feel like that's the main thing to avoid. Do you wanna explain why?
Yeah, I feel like when you check your phone, you instantly go from being intentional about what you want for your day to getting pulled into like other people's distractions, like with social media or whatever. And so you just instantly go from being on top of things to being on someone else's, agenda. And there's also a lot of science around like the blue light on your phone and how it's really bad for you, like right before you go to bed and right when you wake up, and that like the first thing you should do is get sunlight directly in your eyes and on your body. So I know that can be hard when you're like rushing and you got to go to school, or like when you started school when it was still dark outside.
Yeah.
But if you can, try it, even if it's for 1 second, try to step outside and get that natural sunlight on your skin and in your eyes. And that sends a signal to your entire body, every single cell in your body, that it's morning, it's time to wake up. And it's just a good way to start out the day.
Yeah, and I feel like too, even if, you are rushing and you're not able to, get outside for a minute, even just, opening your windows, getting, fresh air in,
Yeah, don't
I
you
feel
like
like that
just feel
helps.
better when it's bright and it's
Yeah.
not, so dark and gloomy, which was why it was so hard when we had to wake up at like 6
It's
a.m.
even hard right now because we have the shutters up from the hurricane.
Yeah, I know. I don't like when there's not natural light.
Yeah. Well, along with feeling better when it's brighter in your room, I feel like having a clean space to wake up to also. So that's something you could do even, the night before
Hmm.
and just, making your bed with first thing when you wake up. Because imagine even if, you do have, a bad day wherever you go, work, school, the store, the last thing you wanna do is come back to, a messy house because then that, increases how bad your day's going.
Yeah, for me, I feel like a cluttered home makes for a cluttered mind.
Mhm.
And there's actually a ton of research on making your bed, which is so weird. But you know how, well, you might not know, but in the military, every single morning they have to make their bed. They just have like a little cot, but they have to make it. It has to be perfect. But the reason they do that is because first thing in the morning, you're accomplishing something. And what
Yeah.
it does is it like sends a signal to your brain of like, okay, like you just accomplished something. And it's kind of like sets the pace for the rest of the day to keep accomplishing things and to keep like being productive. So it's definitely good. And then you feel like just like, everything's fresh and clean and organized and ready to go.
Yeah, and then along with that, stretching or meditating, whichever floats your boat, I feel like is another really good one, or, even just listening to, subliminals, there's some in the app.
Yeah. So I stretch every morning. And by the way, it changes your life. Like it really does. I highly recommend it because it's kind of like you're awakening like every bit of your body. And so your mind kind of like follows. But this morning, Aiden woke up and he opened up the windows, even though we have the hurricane shutters. And he's like, ta da. And then he's like, okay, mom, come on, we exercise. And he started doing all the stretches that I do. And he was actually really good. He was doing like downward dog and he like
Oh.
knew the whole routine.
Yeah, so then I feel like the next thing to get into after you do all of that is like saying positive affirmations to yourself. And you don't have to take like, I feel like a whole like period of time just to do that. Like you could do it while you're like doing your makeup, washing your face, brushing your teeth, all of that stuff. And so I made a list of just ideas of positive affirmations to say daily. So you could say like something you're looking forward to, three things you appreciate in life and why, five people in your life you're grateful for and why, one accomplishment you're proud of from the day prior, one thing that you like about yourself and why, and your intention of the day. And I actually was when I was looking for affirmations yesterday, I saw a lot of stuff saying how if you do 5 deep breaths after you do your positive affirmations, how it helps kinda, like, lock it in and, like, set it in for the rest of the day.
Ooh, I like that. And it really calms your nervous system,
Yeah,
which is good because sometimes, especially if you wake up to an alarm, your nervous system can kind of be like on edge.
yeah,
So I like the deep breathing. And I have a little expert hack for affirmations or anything like with morning routine. Okay. So it's called habit stacking. Have you ever heard of habit stacking?
no,
Okay, so habit stacking is basically like if you want to create a new habit, like saying affirmations, for example, pair it with a habit that you already do. So, for example, if every single morning you brush your teeth, then while you're brushing your teeth, like think about your affirmations. Um, and like one thing you could do to kind of remind yourself is you could always write like a couple affirmations on like a post-it note and put it on your bathroom mirror. So like as you're brushing your teeth, it's like, oh yeah, I gotta say my affirmations. And if you habit stack and you do that for like a full month, it will just start to become part of your routine and you don't even really have to think about it
yeah,
anymore.
I learned about that in my critical thinking class, how if you, like, take a habit that you wanna add into your routine and you do it, like, 7 times, so, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through Sunday, and then eventually the habit just, like, kinda sticks, like, after that. Like, if you do it 7 days a week and then you do it 7 times, so for a little bit over a month, then that becomes, like, an official habit that you stick to every single day.
Yeah, that's really good. And even if it's just one affirmation, like if you feel like you're really rushed in the morning, even just one is still going to have a big impact.
Yeah.
But if you could do more, I mean, do whatever makes you feel best.
Yeah, I feel like you can really, like, fit it in through, like, any time throughout your day, like, even
Mhm.
if it's while you're in the car, while you're getting ready, any of those. And so, the next thing that I feel like is important is breakfast because, I mean,
It's the most
otherwise
important
it's
meal of
the
the
most
day.
important meal of the day. And otherwise you'll be hangry, and then you won't have a very good day if you're hangry.
Yeah, that's true.
I've learned that from Millie, she gets hangry.
Hmm. Yep. Maybe that's even something you can plan out. Like you plan out your lunch the day before.
Yeah,
Like that's actually a really good hack now that I think about it. So you like set everything kind of in a pile on the counter and then you're ready to go. Like you don't have to think about what am I going to put in my lunch? Like, oh, I
yeah.
got to grab everything. It's just literally there. You can put it in your backpack and it's one less thing you have to worry about in the morning.
Yeah, and another thing with that too, I feel like you can look up ideas, like, on Pinterest and stuff of, like, what's packed for your lunch. Because if you start packing, like, if you don't have anything to look forward to in your day and lunch is the only thing you look forward to, at least find, like, a fun lunch or something to pack. Like, get the little bento boxes or something to,
Oh
like,
my god,
lighten up your
remember
day.
when you were in elementary school and I would leave you notes
Yes.
in your lunch and I was like, this is going to make her day because she's going to open it up and there's going to be a note.
I didn't even know how to read either, so I'd, like, tell the teacher, I'd be like, "Can you read this for me?"
And then it was so cute because one day I was like in my car, like for work or whatever, and I had like packed a lunch for myself and I opened it up and there was a note from you. And you were like, hi, mom, have a good day and make sure you eat all your strawberries. Love, Alexis. And it like literally made my day. I was like laughing and I think I smiled the rest of the day. I was like, why? We should never stop that. Like, it's just
Yeah.
fun. Of course, you'd probably get made fun of if I sent you a note when you're in high school, but whatever.
My
Elementary
friends would
school
actually
kids,
probably
it's
think that's
appropriate.
funny.
Yeah.
Um, okay, what's next? Okay, I feel like another thing too is like doing your hair in the morning, and I know it like sounds funny, but like I feel like if when you don't do your hair, you're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna like run the brush through my hair and throw it in a ponytail," then it's kind of just like, like kind of brush. But like if you do something fun, like you find a fun hairstyle or you braid it or something, I feel like that's like another thing that kind of like puts you in a better mood.
I agree with that. So I have like a whole theory on this actually, because when I was right after I had, I think it was Amelia, um, and you're like in the hospital and it's just kind of like you just feel yucky, like you have an
Yeah.
ugly hospital gown and everything. And the nurse, there was like this super nice nurse, and she came in and she was like, now when you leave the hospital, I want you to promise me something. Every single day, you're gonna get dressed in a nice outfit, you're gonna do your hair and you're gonna do your makeup. And I gave her this look like, "What?" And she was like, "Trust me, there's actually, evidence that says that if you take care of yourself and you put on makeup or do your hair or whatever makes you feel, like, put together, it actually, like, prevents you from falling into, like, a depression and things like
Hmm.
that." And I was, like, really shocked, but it actually worked. It made me feel, like, a little more put together even though I was exhausted and tired. I felt like, I don't know,
Yeah.
just mentally, like, fine. And then, like, dad works at the hospital, and he has this whole theory too, where, like, if you go to work, even though they all wear scrubs, they all have their uniform, the people that go to work that have, like, wrinkly scrubs and it's just kinda, like, sloppy, their work is sloppy and they, like, miss things and they're not on
Mm.
top of it, but the people that take a minute and, like, put themselves together, um, usually do a better job at work. That's his theory.
Now that you say that, I've kind of noticed that with school too. The people who like dress nicer and look more put together usually have better grades than the people who show up in pajamas and sleep
Yeah.
through every class.
Well, and here's the thing too. It's like, as we're saying this, people might be thinking, okay, well, that sounds great, but I don't have like all morning. Like, I've got to get to school. But when you think about it, how long does it actually take? Because if you're
Yeah.
saying affirmations while you're brushing your teeth or doing your hair or in the shower or whatever, that's not taking any more time. It's just
Yeah.
making use of time you're already spending. And then realistically, how long does it take to do your hair? Like 5 minutes, maybe?
Yeah. Like 5 minutes, not even 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how hard the hairstyle is you're doing.
Yeah,
Even
so
I have like the world's thickest hair, and it does not take me more than like 10 to 15 minutes to do my hair.
yeah. So
Takes
it's
like
like just
5.
literally waking up a few minutes earlier.
Yeah. And even with like picking out like a nicer, more put together like outfit, pick it out like the night before. Like or
Mhm.
even just like if you don't have time, like it's like you get home late and like this and that. I feel like pick one day over the weekend that you're not busy, either Saturday or Sunday, and you pick out all your outfits for the week with like how you're gonna do your hair, jewelry you're gonna wear, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Eh,
That's what I do with your siblings. I
Yeah.
put out their outfit the day before, and then I don't feel as stressed in the morning because it's like, "Oh, it's right there. You just
Yeah.
put it on. You don't have to think about it."
Yeah, and another thing too that I actually saw, it was saying it was this one lady who's a teacher, and she was saying how like when she does her hair and like dresses nicer and stuff, how the kids listen to her more than if she like shows up in just like a messy ponytail and like an oversized shirt.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's true.
Well, and think about it, like, if you feel put together, you're probably gonna feel more confident and more maybe more
Yeah.
friendly, and people are going to respond to you in whatever way. Like if you show up and you feel like tired and sloppy, or like you just threw some clothes on and you're not that confident, that's probably people are probably going to respond to you based on the energy you're putting
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. You definitely want to put out more positive energy
Hmm.
towards other people. Um, And then another thing too, going along with like picking out your outfit the night before and stuff, is like if you bring a bag wherever you go, I feel like have it organized and have it packed the night before, because otherwise you're just rushing, you throw everything in there and then you get to wherever you got to go, work, school, whatever, and you're like, "Oh, I forgot this or I forgot that or my bag's messy. I don't know where this is. I'm going to have to take everything out to look for it."
Hmm.
And I feel like that's another thing that tends to put people in a bad mood.
Yeah, I agree. And along with like doing your hair and stuff, I mean, this is like kind of random, but like you have different jewelry that's like crystals. And I feel like that like helps boost your energy in the morning too. If you have like a necklace or bracelet
Yeah.
or something that has a crystal on it. Remember that time when you thought you dropped your necklace? And I was like, whatever, just go to school and I'll like find it later. And then it turned out you had it on the whole
Oh,
time.
yeah. I thought I lost my necklace, and I was like, "Oh, no, that was, like, my favorite necklace," and then I get to class, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah. Okay, well, so you wanna, like, recap? Do you wanna go over the affirmations one more time or, like, the different
Yeah, we
topics?
can go over the affirmations. So, one thing that you look forward to, like, throughout the day, so, like, for example, like, I'm looking forward to my lunch that I packed, my fun lunch or something, or I'm looking forward to doing this or seeing this person. 3 things you appreciate and what in life and why. So, I appreciate my house, I appreciate my family, I appreciate that I'm able to do this or that, and maybe other people aren't able to do that. 5 people in your life you're grateful for and why. So, like, I'm grateful for this person because it could be something simple, like they said hi to me the other day, or I'm grateful for this person because, like, a deeper reason, whatever you wanna say. One accomplishment you're proud of from the day before, even if it's just that you did your hair or that you got ready or put jewelry on or made your bed. One thing that you like about yourself and why, and then your intention of the day. So, like, how you want your day to go. So, instead of thinking like, "Oh, I'm rushed, like this day is gonna go badly," like you think like, "Oh, like my day is gonna go good whether I'm rushed or not. Like this and that is gonna happen, like whatever you want to happen." Like even with the hurricane, we were like, the hurricane is going to slow down and it won't be that bad. And it didn't. And that was our intention that we set for that night. You can do that for night or day.
Yeah, and that's a really good tip too. If there is something that makes you anxious, maybe it's a test or whatever, like something you're dreading, give gratitude for it going like the perfect way that you want it to. Like just kind of visualize that and
Yeah.
it can make a really big difference. All right. Well, did you cover all your morning routine
Yeah.
points? Okay. Well, I guess we should follow up with like an evening routine at some point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's all for today. I hope that that helps and just adding a couple minutes in your morning to make your whole day a little more positive. And we'll see you back here next time.